Okay, so take a look at this stitch. I'm a paranormal specialist. I get rid of the worst of the worst evil, and I'm here to tell you all about sage. What is it? Should you use it? Should you not use it? What happens? How to use it? All these sorts of things, okay? Sage 101, this is this video. All right, we might get a little controversial. I don't want to, but I will also delve into that, okay? If you don't know what sage is sage is a herb that is considered sacred and was used by the indigenous people to get rid of evil spirits and cleanse a space. There have been studies shown in parapsychology that sage actually clears the air of bacteria, okay? And so indigenous people use this to clear evil spirits and clear things out of their home. The problem with this is that whenever society, in of a whole, okay, and of itself, hears that there's paranormal activity going on, the first thing they do is they go out and they buy white sage and they sage their home. This is not what you're supposed to do, okay? Do not do this, okay? I'm here to tell you why. The reason being is not because I'm going to tell you that it's a religious thing and that you should only be trusting God to clear your home, which is what most of the religious people believe, okay? It's not because it's considered a closed practice and that it's not something that you should do in society because it's a sacred herb and people don't like you using it. That's not why. It's not because it's from the devil, okay? God created sage, if you're religious, okay? He created it for you to use. Regardless, that's not the point. That ain't any of these things. The reason being is because people sage and the activity gets worse. Why? Why does it get worse? I get this all the time. I saged, Buffy. I don't understand. I saged and I literally it just got so much worse. Yes, the reason being is because sage clears all energy, period. Sage clears every single bit of energy that's in the room, okay? It does not just clear the bad, it clears the good, okay? So this is why you see people on TV and they say, well, I saged, and then a couple of days it got worse. The activity got worse, and I saged again and it seemed to even get more worse. This is why you hear about these stories where people are like, you grab the sage and everything's gone wrong. The reason is because it clears all energy. Meaning, if there were good energies, if there were neutral energies, if there were loved ones watching over you, if there was any sort of things going on, it's basically you picking up a button and hitting the reset button of the area. Okay, there's no more energies there to protect you. There's no more neutral energies there to balance things out. You're literally clearing all energy. Think of it like it's a reset button on a computer. You're clearing all the files, okay? What does this mean? Well, if there was already demonic hauntings in the home, and there was already demonic activity in the home, or there was already elemental activity, I don't know what's going on. Regardless, you get my point. If there was activity in the home, what this means is that it's going to get amped up even more, because now there's no longer the neutral and good energies there to keep it balanced, to keep it lesser happening, okay? Now, does sage work? Why do people use sage? Okay, so sage can work if used correctly, okay? This means that if you use sage, you need to say a prayer. You need to explain before you use sage that I want the good to stay, that I want the neutral energies to stay, that I'm only getting rid of the bad, that say a prayer, whatever you believe in, higher power, God, Jesus, but you use a prayer when you are saging. You're not relying on the sage to protect the home. You're relying on your higher power to protect the home. The sage just is clearing the energy so the higher power can come in to protect it. Does this make sense? This is why I laugh when I see Christians on TikTok being like, you're not relying on God to protect the home if you use sage. That's the whole reason we're using sage, is to call in our higher power and to call in God. Okay, that's not the point. The point is that you're supposed to use it sparingly, okay? And you're supposed to use it as like, you say a prayer when you use it, okay? And you are very, very specific. You say, I only want the good to stay. All of my ancestors, all of my loved ones, everything that's protecting me and is of the highest vibration is going to stay, okay? Like, these are things that you have to say, okay? But people don't know this, and they just grab the sage and they start willy-nillying it all around. And then what this does is, when the energy's cleared, it opens up for anything to come, because there's no longer energies protecting. So what happens is anything's there now. Literally anything. Like a moth to the flame, you turn on the light and it's literally worse, okay? You've attracted more entities, you've attracted more activity, and things just got worse. So this is why I cringe when I hear people say, oh, you need to sage your house, okay? Make sure you do it right. Now, saging and Palo Santo have become so controversial, it's absolutely ridiculous in this world, okay? They're considered sacred herbs and you shouldn't be using them. There are plenty of other opportunities and other herbs and stuff that you can use other than sage, such as lavender, frankincense, dragon's blood, okay? I think that can be tried first, okay? Before you use sage. Think of sage as like a last resort, okay? Literally a last resort. Okay, so I was saying that you need to think of sage like it's a last resort. Literally a last resort. Like, if your iPhone's not working right, you're going to turn it off, right? And then turn it back on again. You're not going to go and hit the reset button and delete everything off of it, okay? No. All right, sage is a last resort tool, all right? And again, it has to be used properly. So you should probably consult someone who is experienced in these things and knows exactly how to sage properly. It is a tool, all right? And you are basically hitting the reset button on everything. You're getting rid of everything, which means that you're allowing anything to come, okay? Does this make sense to everybody? Is this all right? Now, because of the fact that sage is a closed practice and Palo Santo is a closed practice, and it's become this like extreme controversy in like society, like, oh, you shouldn't be using it, or oh, this is demonic, or whatever, okay? Follow your soul and do what you feel is right. You can use mugwort, you can use dragon's blood, you can use all sorts of these different things, okay? But I will say that you can buy sprays that work just the same. Meaning, for me, I like using Palo Santo. I don't use the sticks, okay, of Palo Santo. I use spray of Palo Santo, where it's made by a company that produces and makes all of these waters and stuff that have magical powers in them and stuff. And it's basically a spray of Palo Santo that's the scent of Palo Santo, and it works just as well. Okay, so that way you don't have to get involved in all that crap in society where like, you shouldn't be using Palo Santo, and you shouldn't be using white sage. Okay, you can literally just buy sprays that do the exact same thing and work just as well. So that way you can stay away from that crap. Okay? So if there's any questions, let me know. Feel free to ask below, but please don't use sage. Just don't, okay? It's literally the last resort. The only time you should be using sage is if a paranormal specialist or someone you have contacted for paranormal help has instructed you to do so, and do so in a way that is, safe use, okay? Because you have to open a window about 3 or 4 inches to let the negative energy out. You have to make sure that the good energy stays, the neutral energy stays. You have to make sure of all of these things. So please take this in consideration. And for society, maybe share this. Tell people, do not just grab sage. It makes things worse usually. Have a good one.